Sonic Frontiers and Shadow Generations are two very good Sonic games, so today I'll be comparing them to find out which one is better. There will be 5 categories, and the better game in each category gets 1 point. The game with the most points by the end of the video wins. Keep in mind that this is entirely my opinion. If you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Sonic Frontiers has a gameplay loop that goes on for pretty much the entire game. You run around doing platforming challenges to collect memory tokens to progress the story. You fight against Guardians to get portal gears to unlock cyberspace stages, then complete all the missions in the cyberspace levels to get vault keys. These vault keys unlock the Chaos Emeralds. After all this, you go fight the Titan and move on to the next island and do the exact same thing. Occasionally you do a mini game, but usually it's just only this. This gameplay loop is on Kronos, Ares, Chaos, and the old version of Aranos Island. 2 islands do not have this gameplay loop are Rhea Island and the new version of Aranos Island. In Rhea Island, you climb up 6 towers. The platforming is fun, but you can beat the whole island in like 10 minutes on your first playthrough. The Final Horizon is different. You start off playing as Amy, and once you get a Chaos Emerald, you switch over to Knuckles, get the Chaos Emerald, then play as Tails, get the Chaos Emerald, then switch to Sonic. Then, fight Guardians to get portal gears. These portal gears put you in cyberspace, where you complete missions to get Lookout Coco. These unlock the trial towers, which are like Rhea towers. You complete a trial at the top of the tower, and they're difficult, with the last one being the hardest. The gameplay follows this pattern. Play as Amy, Knuckles, Tails, climb up 4 trial towers as Sonic, play as Amy, play as Tails, play as Knuckles, climb up 1 trial tower as Sonic, then do the final boss. Sonic plays how he normally would in Frontiers. He has a homing attack, spin dash, and his own skill tree, and that goes for all the other characters as well. In Shadow Generations, the gameplay loop is very similar to Sonic Generations. You complete 2 zones, then complete challenges to unlock the boss fight, then rinse and repeat until you are done with the game. The only 2 zones separate from this are Chaos Island, because after you do challenges and unlock the boss, and Radical Highway, because you just complete the zone, then go on to the final boss. Shadow unlocks Doom powers throughout the game, such as Doom Spear, Doom Morph, and Doom Wings. These all allow for various shortcuts throughout the stages, especially Chaos Spear and Doom Wings, if you know how to use them the right way. Shadow's gameplay is fun, but there's just one problem. Why is he so slow? Sure, he goes faster sometimes, but in a straight line, he's just so slow. Now let's decide which game does it better, Sonic Frontiers or Shadow Generations. In terms of gameplay, it's very hard to decide between the 2, but I think that I prefer Frontiers more because of the freedom you get in the open world, and the variety because there are 4 playable characters in Frontiers and only 1 playable character in Shadow Generations. In a few years from now, the Sonic Frontiers Titan fights will be iconic. Nothing was better than climbing up Giganto and hearing Undefeatable play in the background for the first time. The Titan fights are just something else. The music, the visuals, and the high stakes make them very fun. Sure, they are extremely easy for me to do now, but on my first playthrough, I had a really difficult time beating them. My favorite fight has got to be Giganto or the end, the Final Horizon version, not the original. That one was garbage. Shadow Generations bosses are very good. Each and every one of them is someone that Shadow defeated in the past. Each one makes use of a specific Doom power. BioLizard uses the Chaos Spear, Metal Overlord uses Doom Surf, and Mephiles uses the Doom Morph, and Devil Doom uses them all. I really like this because each boss is different, unlike Frontiers. In Frontiers, you can just spam stomp on the Titans and beat them within 3 minutes. Shadow Generations bosses are different from each other, and that is good, and it gives them more variety. Now, while the Shadow Generations fights are good, I just don't think that they are better than Frontiers. The visual spectacle, the song, and the atmosphere of the fight just makes Frontiers bosses better than Shadow Generations. Sonic Frontiers' level design is a pretty big controversy, and that is because all of the levels are stolen from older Sonic games. Even in the Final Horizon, while the levels are original, they are all based on one cyberspace level from the original game. Take 4-B for example. It is based on 3-1, and the song is even a remix of the original. Shadow Generations uses fully original levels, and these levels are some of the best in the entire series. Kingdom Valley is my personal favorite because it is so open and there are so many different paths to choose from. And that goes for all the stages, but Kingdom Valley has the most alternate paths. The levels are long too. Usually the 3D stages are 5 minutes long. The 2D stages are not as fun because Shadow moves even slower than he does in 3D, but I only really replayed the 3D stages for the most part. As for which game does level design better, I think it was pretty obvious that Shadow Generations wins because levels are just much more fun and original than Frontiers. Sonic Frontiers got a wide variety of DLC. It had 3 major DLC updates throughout the year of 2023, and they were all free. The first update introduced the Jukebox and the Photo Mode, as well as new challenge modes and Extreme Mode, the hardest difficulty. The second update added Momentum, Birthday Decorations, and the Spin Dash. The third update added 3 new playable characters, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, and a new ending tool was an originally rushed one. Shadow Generations DLC was pretty small compared to Frontiers, but it still has some stuff worth mentioning. Most of the DLC was skins, but the other part was good. To celebrate Sonic Movie 3, they added a Tokyo stage to the game. This stage is one of the best Sonic stages I have ever played, and the cutscene midway through is just amazing. Now, for which game had better DLC, I think it's obviously Frontiers that wins this, because Shadow Generations DLC was tiny compared to Frontiers. Take it this way, Sonic Frontiers DLC is a cat and Shadow Generations DLC is a mouse. That is how big of a difference there is between the DLCs. While the DLC for Shadow Generations wasn't bad, Frontiers just had more stuff, so that's why it wins. The story of Sonic Frontiers is something that we have not seen in a long time. It was an actual serious story, like the adventure games back in the 1990s and the 2000s. Sonic and his friends are traveling to the Starfall Islands when they are sucked into cyberspace. Sonic escapes and he has to beat up the Titans to free his friends from cyberspace. However, in the new ending of the game, Sonic's friends decide to return to cyberspace to save Sonic from his cyber corruption, and then Sonic saves them after it defeats the end. Overall, some moments in the story are good, but some of them are just bad. The story of Shadow Generations is that Shadow is sucked into white space where he finds Maria and Gerald Robotnik again. He goes on and tries to save them, but in the end, they do not want to be saved and Shadow just has to move on. This was great. We saw Shadow as an actual character instead of just this edgy loner hanging out in the background, and we saw him try to move on from his past. Now, for which game has a better story, I'm just going to be completely honest. I don't really care that much about the story of Sonic games, or any game for that matter. As long as the game is fun, I'll enjoy it and that's it. However, if I had to choose between them, I would pick Shadow Generations because it just goes deeper and it's really sort of interesting to me. Sonic Frontiers left more to be desired since the ending was rushed, but Shadow Generations left an instant impact. Now that we are done, the score stands Sonic Frontiers with 3 points, Shadow Generations with 2 points. Both of these games are very good Sonic games, but it looks like Sonic Frontiers is the winner. Which one do you guys think is better? Let me know. Anyway, if you enjoyed, then like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.